Hello, it's Joe with Blackout Tinting Emergency Vehicle Services, showing you one of our latest innovations here. It started off with a brand new 2023 Ford Explorer PIU. No decals, no graphics, no anything. It is the police version. They brought it to us. They wanted a push bar on the front, so we put the Go Rhino push bar with the Code 3 MR6s alternating red and blues in the front. We have the headlight flasher hooked up. Those pretty much come standard in the Explorers. The wiring is already in there. You just have to know how to hook it up. They wanted an interior light bar, so we have the Phoenix Quantum with a custom programming on it. In the back window, we like the Code 3 interior ones. We like the flash patterns. We think they're pretty cool, so we normally put those in the side windows. In the back, we have a Phoenix 600 Quantum stick that's programmed not only for the red-blue flash. We'll show you here in a minute. It will also do traffic control with the amber left or amber right for traffic control. If you hit both buttons, you get center out. Also have the taillight flashers installed, and of course an 800 megahertz antenna up on the roof. They're switching from UHF to an 800 system, so we have that all in ready to go. We also installed prisoner partition. This particular one is made by Go Rhino. Fairly simple to install as compared to some of the other brands. The seats are sort of unique, as if you can see the cutouts in the back portion of the seat. So if they have a prisoner in there that is handcuffed, the indentations make it a lot more comfortable for the prisoner. Instead of his arms hitting up against the backrest, they sort of go into the indentations. The seat belt, you don't have to reach over the prisoner to put them on, and there's little magnets that hold them on the front here. Sliding window in the partition. We also have installed in this ProVision camera system. That's the camera that we can see the rear prisoner. As you can see, there's plenty of room in the back, and when their hands are handcuffed behind them, they fit into the little indentations in the seat. We think that's a pretty unique thing. Some of the seats are just shiny and flat and very uncomfortable, and they're already in a mess. So we thought this was a good alternative. We've been using these for quite a while. Another thing about the Go Rhino partitions that we like is the main partition itself is a standard size, and then they sell filler kits to fill the sides in. So let's say in 2 or 3 years they get rid of this car, there is a really good chance that we can reuse the partition, even if they change the interior somewhat, because the company comes out with different filler panels for the side. That would save the agency some money. So this is how the top hooks, obviously just nice and simple. You can pull it tight, which I don't want to do it because I don't want to put them in agony. And then the other one just comes down here and plugs in. We have a monitor mounted in the front. We custom mounted it on the center console up in the roof. And in addition to the monitor that is here, this will also work at the station on their Wi-Fi. When they pull into their station, they can download all their information right through the Wi-Fi. They don't have to use the SD card that is in the DVR itself. Okay, interior-wise, as far as the customer requested a console that had a built-in provision for their printer. We like Gamber Johnson consoles. We feel they're streamlined. They don't look like they were made in a garage, and they're just nice. We use a lot of the Gamber Johnson stuff. So he wanted one that the printer fit inside the console. He has a Brother P8 thermal printer that fits right in there. There's a place here for the paper. And then behind that, there's room for Phoenix Typhoon controller in here. He had a really old Vascar Plus unit that they still activate. We put that in next. The next slot here is going to be for a Motorola Apex. We believe it's a 4500 Apex. He doesn't have the radio yet, but we have it all pre-wired with the antenna and the power connections and so on. Good old cup holder in the back, and then there's an armrest that folds down and can be twisted either way. Dual gun lock that we took out of his old vehicle that they got rid of. We remounted it in here, and it is on one of the positions there with an 8-second timer. So these will open up and then they'll automatically lock again in 8 seconds. There, they locked. So when you slam them shut, you can't get it open. He also has a Panasonic Toughbook that will be tied in to the printer. It's not an actual docking station. However, they do make a docking station, but this is a custom made for the Panasonic model that he has that would fit right in here and lock it in. Obviously, there's a power plug and a USB that hooks into that also for the printer. If you notice here on the front, there's a little round LED with a little button in the middle. That is tied into our ProVision DVR, which is mounted behind our seat, and it's a marker. So if they're in the middle of some incident somewhere and something big happens, they can push the button. It'll automatically put a marker on the video. So when they download the thing, they're looking for a particular incident. They can go right to each marker and look at the marker, and they'll know exactly what's going on instead of sitting there fast forward, you know, et cetera, et cetera. We feel that's a pretty nice function. We like the ProVision cameras. They're a little less expensive than the WatchGuard stuff. They do pretty much everything that WatchGuard does. And the other thing we like is their technical service is really good. Call them up, they answer the phone. We actually get answers right away, whereas some of the other manufacturers, sometimes it takes a week to 2 weeks to get anything back from them. And when you're in the middle of an install, we need to know, you know, right then and there. We also put the dome light that will go in the red mode or the white. The agency wanted updated graphics. Some of the graphics was old looking, and their badge emblem that was on the car was like a generic one that somebody just downloaded from the internet. So we had our graphics guy, Rick, go through and actually create a new badge, as you can see, for Ferndale. And it's really nice. I mean, he did a lot of detail on this thing that made it really pop. The lines themselves on the car, the police and Ferndale Borough and all that, just looks modern. They had the little B that was on their other one. They wanted to keep that. And the other nice thing that I like, now these are reflective in the back. The chevrons he does instead of just the little wee ones across the bottom or the ones on the hatch itself, he does them both and they line up perfectly. So we're ready for all your upfitting needs, as you can see. Not only do we carry Phoenix, we also like Code 3 a lot. We use some Wheeling, not a lot. We're more into the Code 3 and Phoenix. We feel they're very competitive, good stuff. Most of the Code 3 and most of the Phoenix all has 5-year warranties. There's no job too small, nothing too big. We have enough guys to handle the situation, so give us a call.